My name is Tasneem Chowdhury. At present, I live in Chicago and work at the University of Illinois at Chicago. I joined in 1990 when we had just immigrated to Canada. I had done my bachelor's degree from Bangladesh, and then I worked for 11 years as an architect in the Middle East. So I came here with that background, no recent academic background. You know, I was always interested in gender norms, and I wanted to study gender and space in South Asia, where the segregation of women is the norm. So that's what I chose, but there was so little literature at the time, and Vikram said that, oh, you know, lit review wouldn't be enough, you had to do field research, which was difficult with a young family. But I got it done, and really it was an eye-opening experience, and you know, learning what women's needs are in that situation and what action is needed to improve their living patterns. And you know, that experience has been with me and has informed everything else that I did since then. So the thinking at minimum cost housing was very different from what I had learned, absorbed, you know, while I was, you know, living my life. For example, here I learned that some slums are not the problem, they are the solution, which is really, it just turned my belief system upside down, because I come from a country where slum eradication is the preferred method of dealing with slums, causing a lot of problem to slum dwellers. But this new way of thinking, you know, what's the best way of housing people, how we should first learn how people live and then improve their housing or do interventions. This was a really, you know, another life-altering experience for me. So since I left minimum cost housing, I never really went back to architecture except for a very brief stint, and that was because my priorities had changed. I was no longer happy in that milieu. I wanted to work with community. I want to be an activist, and so that's what I did. So community design, activism, advocacy, teaching, design and development. I taught at York University while in Toronto. While in Toronto, I did a myriad of projects. I mean, I can't even say, ranging from health to the environment, to environmental justice. Possibly, you name it, I've done it. So, yeah, that was a very interesting experience. In Chicago, I worked at the University of Illinois, where I still am, but I was the associate director of the City Design Center, which was a multidisciplinary center specifically dealing with urban planning and architecture, and we worked with communities. You know, we provided design assistance for communities. We did research on, you know, best practices in affordable housing, and we worked in some very dangerous areas in Chicago, but they turned out to be my favorite interventions or projects. So that's about it. So I do owe MCHG the trajectory of my life since I left it. I didn't think I would go into so many different fields and feel so fulfilled, and but it has been a very rewarding experience. My not going back to architecture and working with the community pretty much all my life. Yeah. You know, the international aspect of it, and being able to learn about so many different countries and how they address their housing problems, and I learned a lot from it. And actually, this aspect of minimum cost housing Later, I did a social action project for women in housing, right? But we had newsletters in, I don't know, 15 languages because I just wanted to, surveys and stuff. I just wanted to include everyone and not have any language barriers, and be open to different perspectives. I think that came from this program. We did a lot of student seminars, and I remember I did one on the Bangladeshi bank, which is the Grameen Bank, and its empowerment of women model, which was I did one on disaster housing, and the seminars were all from the students' home countries. We had a lot of students from China, we had one student from Nepal, so it was it's Tibet. It was all very interesting. We also worked on a rural housing project in China. So there probably was 2 iterations, and I worked on the first one of them. So this is, some of the drawings when it was more developed. Because the night before our presentation, we lost power. We were all working in this building, and the power went. So we said, oh, no way there's a presentation tomorrow because there's no power. So the drawings were kind of incomplete, but Vikram went ahead and presented them. So I guess the more work was done later and culminated in that book. Yeah.